We are live. Welcome back to the West Coast Draft Podcast in what is now 2024, which means we're almost to actual draft season. So the name of the
Let's go.
podcast will finally start to make sense. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Well, we're here to talk about our college football bowls. I got a little bit of a transfer portal, do a little transfer portal update too, because there's a lot going on there. Gonna talk bowls. Gonna talk about the college football playoff. We're gonna talk about Nollins,
No, that's the
and
Sugar
then we're
Bowl
gonna talk
rule.
about the national championship between the Michigan Wolverines and the Washington Huskies.
Let's go.
I still get shivers when I even think about it, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. The Huskies are in the national championship. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Not me. Not me before the season. You know what's funny,
Not
actually,
me.
and we'll get it. Not me. It's like that. It's like the Paul Rudd meme from a few years ago. Like, look
Yeah.
at us. Look
Look
at
at us.
us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought? Not
Who would
me.
have thought?
No. So excited. We're gonna talk about that because crazy, crazy games. Um, no, Nola Rob here's got some crazy stories from Bourbon Street as well.
Yes, we're
Um,
coming. I'm coming to you guys live from the High Hostel in New Orleans, right? A couple blocks away from Bourbon Street and a couple blocks away from the Sugar Bowl. I'm still
there you
down
go.
here. I'm probably like one of the last ones.
There you go. There you go. Well, live it up, my friend. Live it up. You've earned it. Um, what a
We'll
what
save the
a
fun. We'll save the fun for later. Let's get
mhm.
through bowl season first.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Well,
I think
what
we
games
did
do we
up
want? We don't
to
have to talk necessarily about every single
we
game
did we did
here.
a couple of them.
Yeah, we did some predictions for some of these earlier games. We haven't covered all these games because I will say it's been a few weeks since our last West Coast Draft podcast.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. Yeah, we forgot to mention that. Sorry, guys. It's a
I don't
combination of
know.
the holiday season, it's time zones, crazy stuff happening.
Yep.
We haven't really the
Well,
best lately.
we went on a bit of a hiatus. We definitely went on a bit of a hiatus there,
We tried. We
but we're
tried
back.
to get it
We
going,
tried, and
but we're
we were
back.
trying to coordinate at times, and it's just like every single time it was like, or when the NFL pods, like Daniel would be gone, or you were
One
down in
of
New
us,
Orleans.
one
Yeah,
of
or
us
I
were
was.
gone for each
It
of
was
them.
and it was always tough. It was always tough, but we're back, and now that we're in draft season or almost draft season, we're gonna try to get back more consistent,
Oh,
but.
we'll be back at least weekly for draft
At
season.
least weekly. At least we gotta do mock drafts every week. Not maybe not every week, but we'll keep it rolling. We keep it rolling. But anyways, like you
Mhm.
said, let's get into the Bulls. Let's get into the Bulls. Some fun stuff. Some fun stuff in some of these. Um, not in some of these early ones. I'll be quite honest. I did not watch many of these early
Sorry, I'm just
ones.
having to look closely. I do
Oh yeah, yeah,
remember how the monsoon at the Miami, Ohio App State game that looked miserable.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can see that reflected in that score, 13-9. Yeah, it's
You could see the rain pooled up on the field. It was bad.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at these games. Like, did any of these really stand out? UCLA, Boise
Okay,
State. I mean,
no, that didn't really, to be honest.
no, I mean, none of these
Caltech
early games
didn't.
st none of these early games stand out to me, to be quite honest. With
I
all due respect to the
mm,
Celebration Bowl, I did not
I
watch it.
I didn't watch the celebration, but I should have. I should have.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah,
fun
no, none of
players in
those.
both Howard and A&M though. So,
FAMU.
um,
Yeah.
did Western Kentucky wear their special helmets for this game? Then this wasn't
I
worth
don't think
talking about
so.
either. Although, I mean,
Yeah.
overtime game 38-35 is fun, I guess. Um, but not worth talking about there. Utes, Marshall, I didn't even realize Syracuse was bowl eligible, and it looks like they didn't realize it either. Um,
New coach. Wait, no, that's probably the interim, bro.
let's see, Georgia Tech beating UCF, handling UCF, to be honest. I did see
Utah
snippets of that.
Northwestern was miserable. That was not a fun game to
Yeah,
watch.
that's not a game where offense was a thing that was happening.
Air Force Jam, you watched that one.
Hmm.
I watched Bowling Green, Minnesota. Texas State Rice had a lineman touchdown.
Or not by
I
Texas
watched
State, I
Kansas
assume.
UNLV. I watched the Holiday Bowl. That was a good one. I watched the Texas Bowl.
I did write, yeah, the
Um,
Texas Bowl. I saw snippets of the Virginia Tech Tulane game. Not a lot there. Tulane got destroyed by a
all right, now
not
we're
very
getting
good
to
team.
some real bowl games. So here's some good ones here.
Yeah. Ah,
Hop.
man, this is a game. I obviously had my eye on this one.
Oh yeah, that was an awesome game. You want to talk about? Let's talk about that one.
Oh yeah, this was fun. I mean, shoot. I mean, it was what was it? Arizona gets out to a 13-0 lead. Oklahoma
Looked great.
takes the 24-13 lead, 24-point run, and then Arizona goes on their own 25-point run to end the game 38. It was just the ultimate back and forth. There were parts of this
Hmm.
game where Oklahoma's offense, it was so funny. Oklahoma's offense could get all the yards they wanted, it felt like, for large portions of this game. But man, Arizona just kept forcing a turnover. It was like they couldn't stop turning the ball over, whether that was in the
Jackson,
red zone.
Jackson Arnold,
Jackson Arnold
true
ain't it yet.
freshman quarterback.
True
True
freshman
freshman
quarterback. He played
quarterback.
like a true freshman. He had his moments. I mean, you throw for 361
He'll
yards.
give him a good offseason. He'll be able, I think he could really make some strides next year. But he played
Hmm.
like a true freshman quarterback throwing 5 picks, I think.
Hmm. Oh yeah, it was 5 picks. There's a bunch of fumbles in there too. Some of the picks were just fantastic. Like the tip one that ended up turning into the long pick six. Not much he can do there.
No, no.
The one where it was like a leaping like behind him grab. I mean, that's just a fantastic play by that Arizona player. Like that's kind of
Hmm.
hard to control for. But then
And
there's others like his
so
first few that were just like, what are you doing there, dude?
the
He
first pick
definitely.
was a good play, I'd say.
Mhm, mhm.
There's so
It
many
was just a
dudes
fun
coming
game. It was
back.
a fun game.
It was honorable, it really shouldn't be as high for both conferences, but like the past
Hmm.
couple of years have all been really fun. They've been good
Hmm.
games. Um, Next year Arizona's gonna be really good, man. Everyone's coming back from their star
Everyone other
quarterback.
than Cowing and Morgan are coming back,
Yeah,
basically. They didn't lose like anyone to the portal. Like they got
they're
a
gonna
great
be
program down there. They're gonna be a
fun.
good team. They're gonna be good. Is this year's Arizona shades of last year's Washington?
No, Confucius is not as good as Penix.
Yeah, but I mean T Max, I mean I'd say the receiving core as a whole isn't, but the defense is better.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's fair.
I think
Um,
T Mac I would put T Mac not quite where Odunze is, but like he's
they're
in that
different
direction.
players. They're different players.
No, I'm not comparing them as like players. I'm just saying like
But
from
he's
an overall
awesome. T Mac's
talent.
awesome.
Hmm.
With how bad the Big 12 is next year, I think they can make
Hmm.
a serious run for it. I they're gonna be fun to watch. I can't wait to watch them next year. I pick their Wildcats game with you next year. Bear down, baby.
Yeah, bear down, baby, bear down. Um, Move forward to the Pop Tarts Bowl
I
here.
watched this one. That was awesome. Edible
I watched it to
mascot.
point. It was fun, but I was a little disappointed that the mascot that was actually on the field was not edible. It was like they faked him, put him in a fake toaster, and then popped out a actually
This
edible layer of cardboard. And it was like I was disappointed. I was hoping there's gonna be a guy walking around on the sidelines in an actually edible costume.
that I feel like it would be so heavy.
It
It
would
would
be.
be
Oh,
so
it definitely
heavy.
would be. It wouldn't be reasonable, but I was still disappointed.
I thought it was fun. I thought that giant, especially when it came out of the giant poster, that was pretty
Mhm.
funny.
Yeah, the toaster gag was pretty funny. I did like the toaster gag.
It was awesome. One thing I saw is that it's like food companies make like by far the most money off of full sponsorships. Like it's not even close. And
Hmm.
they had fun with it. I thought it was very fun. I was sad that the Cheez It Bowl was going away, but like they did a pretty good job.
For the game itself, I mean, credit to K-State. Hey, you know who looked good?
Avery
Avery
Johnson,
Johnson.
he did. He
He
did that.
did.
This staff has, the staff has a good eye for quarterbacks.
Yeah. Hmm.
He looked really good. K-State could make some moves. There's going to be
Oh,
some solid teams in the Big 12 next year. That
although
and
we'll talk about former UW commit Lincoln Kienholz so later.
I mean,
We'll call it 50-50.
I think it's tough. Avery Johnson has been like Aiden Childs this year. He has
Hmm.
gotten reps. Lincoln Kienholz has been QB3.
Hmm.
That's tough. I, I
Hmm.
I don't think you can take too much from that from a guy who versus Lincoln. Lincoln Kienholz had no bowl prep. Avery Johnson didn't. Johnson
Hmm.
was QB1 during bowl prep. I don't think
Sure.
he can factor that in yet, but it was very fun, especially with no, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But I have some choice words for certain players on Ohio State.
Hmm. Hmm. And then Rutgers, Miami. You don't go play. Oh wait, sorry, I skipped over SMU, Boston College. But I already started the New York accent. I'm not stopping it now. You don't go to the Bronx and play New York City's team and expect to walk away with the W, Mario Cristobal.
That's an old ACC matchup, dude.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Um, Rutgers coming away with a win, and again, what is basically their home stadium, just like Boston College walked away with a win and was effectively their home stadium. But we'll go back to that.
I think
Um,
we're gonna lose to Rutgers next year.
they're building a fun program. You know what? Credit to Greg Schiano. I know his time in Tampa Bay was not good, and I know he's had quite a few bumps in the road personally, as well as a
Well, I mean,
coach. But he's
you know
building a
where he
solid
was.
program at Rutgers.
Well, you know where he was before. Yeah,
Rutgers, yeah.
yeah,
He
yeah,
started at Rutgers, yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, I don't like him. he's he's up there with Mario Cristobal for me. That's a battle. That whole game is
Hmm.
like my most
A
hated coach.
battle.
I have zero respect for Greg Schiano. Maybe he's changed. I don't know. But from what I remember,
I don't know
I
if he's
had
changed
zero
at all,
respect. I
but
don't
yeah,
either.
it's hard
But
to
just from
respect
what
him
I
per se,
remember,
but I'm just saying,
he's doing a good job. He won a bowl game at Rutgers. That's pretty tough. All right, let's see here. Oh, I wish that Memphis was a fun one. Memphis could make some noise in the G5 next year.
yeah, yeah.
Oh wait, we skipped a couple. My bad.
Oh, it's SMU Boston College. I don't know, not much to take away
No,
from
no,
that.
oh no,
Future
no,
ACC matchup. Future ACC matchup.
that's still a weird one to me. Okay.
Anything from any of these forward games you want to talk about though? I already talked to AU or UA and NC State. So anything from these two?
Nope. Nope.
Cool. Moving forward to the Friday games, and some of these were very entertaining. Two of them weren't. Actually, I'd say three of them weren't. I guess Missouri Ohio State was entertaining. So bad it's good kind of way.
Mhm.
Um, let's lead with that one. It
Yeah,
was
I love
three
watching Winter
nothing. It was
Burn.
3-0 with like what, a minute left in the third quarter or something. Or no, it's 3-0 at the end of the third quarter. Um, just no offense at all. Period. Point blank. It was ridiculous.
It was Big Ten
Um,
football, man. Well,
it
that's
was
what
Big
happens
Ten
when you go
football.
from Caesar Stroud to Honda midcourt.
Hmm. Um, that's pretty funny. Actually, I haven't heard that one. Actually,
You
no,
haven't
I
heard
think I
that
have.
one?
No, I
Well,
think
it
I
was
have. I
big.
think I
It
have.
was it was the response to the Maserati Marv stuff.
Hmm. That makes sense.
Um,
Um,
and then he didn't even play. So
mhm.
um,
Yeah, because it's Syracuse now. He transferred.
yeah, and that's you had Devin Brown playing the 33 jersey that the one stop talking about, and then he got hurt, and then he had like Dean Holes. Hope you're enjoying that, just like JTP, Mecca Buka, and G. Scott Jr. You thought you said you couldn't win a Natty. You said you're going to get the CFP at Eat Up. Jerry Couches on Monday, January 8th.
Yep.
It's pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. That they're it's like the same with a lot of like poker guys like Josh Conlon and stuff like that.
Hmm.
We love UW because they think they couldn't win here, and we might win the first Natty on the West Coast since USC.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm happy that like some of the studs on the Zoo got a full win.
hmm hmm
I love their running back. He's awesome.
Schrader. Yeah, he's going to the Senior Bowl. He'll be there. It's quite the turn from
No,
a D2 walk-on to going to the Senior Bowl. Like
yeah, that's
quite
awesome.
the turnaround. Good for him, man. Good for him. He's earned it.
Absolutely.
Oregon State, Notre Dame. Gosh, I mean, both these teams were
Oh
absolutely
gosh,
just destroyed by the portal, and
it's what happens when you're two good teams in the season, but one is a blue blood and the other is not.
mhm,
And when half your team is gone, a blue blood will have better backups and have the way with the other team.
mhm. Yeah, yeah,
I can't believe Ben Gilbrandt still get the catch.
mhm. Yeah. There we go. Clemson, Kentucky. Fun game here. Here, I have to hop off real fast,
That was
but
an
go ahead. Go ahead and talk for a minute for me.
that was an awesome game. Just like huge run leads, big plays, like big momentum changing plays all the time. So a huge kick return, got a huge throw. It was a fun one. Devin Leary, you know, was not good this year in the SEC. And Kate Bowman was a disappointment too. Um, I saw a lot of probably Spartanburg memes after this one as well. They were getting on a bowl win. But you can definitely see that the times you kind of passed them by and Brent Venable has been part of that Clemson team. The things I remember that Venables was a big science thing. And he really is like a big defense. He's really good game. So, you know, Clemson is definitely on the downswing. I don't know how low can go with them, if they can make it back up again. Because, it's hard not to parlay that, all that natty success. Monster had plenty of busts from really good teams from that. Now that they have a business like the NIL game, the transfer portal game, it's a good pipeline pricing. It's too early to be honest. Or some real games. Oh, is he back? I see him house meeting.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back
I
here.
just I just finished
Yeah.
talking about Clemson, Kentucky.
It was a fun game. It was fun back and forth. That's all I'll say. It was fun back and forth game.
Huge momentum swings.
Mm. And I didn't watch Iowa State, Memphis, so I can't
I
speak on
watched
this
that
one.
game. It's actually pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
Memphis looks like they're pretty good. Then and their quarterback's coming back, so they won't make some noise next year.
hmm
Let's move into our Saturday, December 30th games.
hmm
The
Georgia,
beatdown
Florida
of a
State.
century.
Gosh, I mean, it's tough. Florida. I won't lie, it's tough for Florida State, but 63-3. Come on, man. Did you not practice once before this game? Did you not practice for a whole month? I'm just like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I know you lost everyone to the draft, not even to the portal, to the draft. I
Georgia was
get it.
clearly playing with no mercy, and they
Yeah.
were they were mad Georgia team.
hmm hmm They absolutely took it to them. They took it to them. It's not like it's not like
It's,
Georgia was playing everyone themselves. They
no,
lost
no,
guys too.
no Bowers. I
No
don't know
Bow.
who else didn't play.
I don't think I think they had a couple DBs, not DB.
Mhm.
They had a couple
I think you're
defensive
right,
players that opted out. Um
but they got some good up and comers though. I guess they're using their time
mhm,
to keep the box as well.
mhm. Um absolutely.
And the stuff people are taking away from this game is really stupid. Though it's like committee had the choice. Well, the committee doesn't leave out Florida State. all those people play. It's foolish. Um, but then also like the Georgia should have gotten in. Well, here's why Georgia didn't get in. They lost the playoff game. That's how it's gonna work next year.
Yeah.
Well, who's sponsored? This was the Orange Bowl, right? Who's the Citrus Bowl? So
Citrus Bowl
it's the Cheese
is
It Citrus Bowl now.
yeah.
They there was realignment in the bowl games too.
Cheese It has different sponsor now or a different bowl that they're sponsoring.
Well,
Um
that's why the Pop Tart Bowl too.
yep. Yep.
So
It's not
so who was in the Citrus Bowl?
Citrus Bowl was Iowa and Tennessee.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
That was the
I think
Cheese It Citrus Bowl,
Cheese at Citrus Bowl, yeah.
and they also had not edible, but they also had a mascot that came out of something that looked similar to a toaster.
Mm-hmm.
So it
It
looks like it
wasn't
was the
quite.
same company
Yep.
or the same planning company.
Mm-hmm. The same like design, the same architecture company.
Yeah,
Um,
and he had a sign that said "Don't eat me."
um,
Did he? Speaking of Pop Tart Bowl, though, did you see that tweet that was like that was like I asked the person, the handler of the Pop Tart mascot, is it bad to be eating a Pop Tart in front of them? And and they immediately were like, no, they dream to be eaten. And then the Pop Tart mascot was like eating the guy who made the tweet. You see that one?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
That was a good one. That was an all timer.
yeah. Um, let's see. Oh, and the Auburn. I didn't watch Auburn
I
Maryland.
can't
Auburn
believe
sucks.
I didn't think that Auburn made a bowl game.
I didn't think so either.
He's scroll up about the
Oh yeah.
time did any? Oh yeah, Ole Miss Penn State. At the beginning, it looked like Penn State was going to roll,
Mm-hmm.
and then Ole Miss did. Lane Train's
Yeah.
coming next year, folks. Lane Train's coming from the SEC next year. Best teams in the SEC could be Ole Miss and Texas next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean Texas will be back. Honestly, their return. I mean, they're missing. They're going to lose like the receivers and their defense linemen. Everyone else
Is
is
Sweat
basically
is
coming
Sweat
back. Yeah,
is Sweat eligible?
Sweat's in the Senior Bowl.
Oh, okay, never mind. I
Yeah,
thought
so
they
he's
were
more
both
than that.
coming. I thought Murphy was gone. I thought Sweat was staying.
No,
So
they're
that
both gone.
changes
They're
next.
both
That
gone.
changes my mind now. Those are hard dudes to replace. Um, okay, but Ole Miss is looking pretty good. They got a big transfer ball. Then what's that last one down there? Oh, Toledo, Wyoming.
Oh, the
That's the
Arizona Bowl.
Barstool
Oh
Bowl.
man, I didn't watch this. I won't lie, which is funny because I was actually in Tucson when the game was happening. Um, I will say though, the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl hosted a very fun New Year's bash. Went to on Sunday night at midnight. Um,
Mhm.
Times Square may drop the ball. The Arizona Tucson and the Arizona Bowl dropped a taco, like a
That
giant
is
pinata
awesome.
taco pinata, and it was sponsored by Taco Bell too. And I
Oh,
couldn't
I
think of
saw
two.
that.
It was so
That
cool,
was
man. It was
awesome.
so fun. It was so fun. A lot of food trucks. It was fun stuff. Fun stuff. Shout out
That's
Tucson.
awesome.
Y'all do New Year's right. Now I'll do New
I
Year's right.
that game was on the CW.
Was on the CW. Oh
Yeah,
no.
and the resolution was not good. But and the Barstool guys were commentating it, so that was a rough watch. I'm not gonna lie. Portnoy was broadcasting it. All right, let's get into this. Okay, let's do the other ones. Like, why are non-New Year's Six bowls being played on New Year's now? Okay, what the hell is up with the Reliquist Bowl and the Cheese Citrus Bowl being on New Year's Eve
I feel
today?
like they always have been. I feel like they've always
Yeah.
been kind of the lead up to the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl.
Okay. Um,
So we
so
got
all right, let's
let's
do those
start.
ones
Let's do the
first.
CFP games last. So let's do
Yes,
Iowa,
exactly.
Tennessee. Tennessee destroyed Iowa.
Iowa sucks, man. They only
They're
had
horrible. They're
that many
horrible.
wins from how bad the Big Ten was. They
Mhm.
scored 0 points against ranked teams.
That's not great. That's not great. That's what you call not great.
Nico Iamaleava looks good.
Yeah. It's just funny because they were they could have been a top 10 team if that the Cooper DeJean punt return against Minnesota didn't get called back with 0 point, a top 10 team with 0 points against ranked teams. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Um, luckily Minnesota saved us from that.
And then I did not think that Wisconsin was bowl eligible, to be honest. Speaking of bowl eligible Big Ten West teams, though, row the boat. PJ Fleck won one at 5-7. Row the boat, baby. I think Brian Grubb could be Minnesota's coach uh, after this year, after next year.
Let's see. I was surprised he didn't get a job this year, honestly. Um,
I could see him maybe going for the NFL.
let's see that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the NFL openings are all going to come out after next Monday, so that would be
I
after the
think he
national
was
championship.
definitely hurt by just how the cycle works these days, total,
Hmm.
and being still alive in the CFP. They got to change that. They got to change what I think they should do. So but the portal is tough because it works with, uh, semesters and
Yeah, they
quarters.
don't want to have guys transferring into like school. Like they want to have like
Exactly.
decisions made per second semester.
So,
Yeah.
so I think they should get rid of the December signing day and no early enrollment. I think that's how you. I think that's a decision that needs to be made.
Hmm. Yeah, that could work.
I think you commit in the spring and you enroll and you can enroll in the summer, sure. But
Mhm.
coaches having to transfer portal early signing day at the same time and full prep is just absurd. Okay, let's get
Tickets as
into
low as 874.
what's up
I'm just looking tickets as low as 874 for
for
Washington,
this
Michigan.
Cincinnati.
Yay, 874. Yes.
Have I told you how much my ticket cost? Oh,
How much?
I'll share it after. I'll share it after.
Okay.
I'll share it. I got lucky, 450,
Jeez.
and
Jeez.
that's still expensive.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Um,
nosebleeds too.
I was looking at him for just out of curiosity because I have a buddy who lives in Houston and I've got a ton of Southwest points. So I was like, I could do travel and lodge for free. It's just about getting tickets to the game. And it was like $913 for the cheapest ones. And I'm
And
like, nah,
if
not
you,
gonna be able to make that happen.
I could have gotten two. I only got one, but if I could have gotten two for 450.
Dang it, man. Dang it.
But I made that decision on the week after the Pac-12 title because you had a week to make that choice.
That is true. That is true. I'll take full responsibility. So let's talk Alabama, Michigan first. Let's talk
Oh
Bama,
yeah,
Michigan.
granddaddy of them all. So I only caught the first half because I had to get to the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
but I watched the first half in a casino full of Texas fans. It was, it's about nine. It was probably in the casino. It was probably about 90 to 10, and like the DJ played the Husky fight song, and I was the only, they played Bow Down Washington. I was the only one singing and clapping,
Hmm.
and then they played the Texas fight song right after that, and just the whole place. It's like, geez, I wonder what it's like around A&M fans.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that there'd be fights breaking out.
Well, no, just how like all the crazy stuff they do, kind of
Oh
culty
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm feeling you. I feel you. Yeah. So I'll speak. I mean, I guess we can both speak on this game. The parts you actually were able to see. Fun game. Very, very fun game.
Oh,
Michigan didn't look. too hot, at least offensively, honestly. Defensively, they
They
took care of
haven't for
business.
months.
Defensively, they took care of business. I'll give them credit for that. Um, lowest yardage output for Bama, and I think it was a few years, honestly, if I looked at it correctly.
Milrow
Um,
looked awful though.
yeah,
Awful.
Alabama did not have a passing game in this game. They
No.
were able to run all they wanted, but Alabama's passing game was just absolutely anemic, like
Hmm.
non-existent. I wouldn't even say anemic because that implies that there was something going on. There, it was non-existent.
Remember what I've been saying
116 yards
all
passing, and I
year.
honestly don't feel like it was that much.
Remember what I've been saying all year about Bama. No
Hmm.
star power. No star power. No star power.
Hmm.
And I didn't feel star power in this game either. Um, they got bailed out because on that first play. They got
Oh yeah,
real bailed out there because that was an awful throw. That was a terrible throw. And
yeah,
I had Bama on the Bama money line parlayed with UW money line. So I was rooting for Bama. I was sitting next to a Bama fan. Um, yeah, both quarterbacks so bad in the first half. But JJ got in rhythm though. Um,
yeah. He wasn't bad. I mean, even
he
the
started
second
bad.
half, he started horrible. But even the second half, it was like he did enough. But I was never like blown away by anything he was doing. Honestly, like they were
Mm,
still. It was still kind of like there were still large parts of this game that were just like I don't know. JJ McCarthy just does not impress me whenever I watch him.
hmm. I agree.
Like
And they
Corum
just
is a
absolutely
different
they just
story.
they just don't believe him at all either.
Yeah. Yeah. Which again, Blake Corum, different story. He's a stud. He is a
Colston Loveland is really good too.
yeah.
However, the receiving group from Michigan, I don't think is very good either.
Hmm.
And their O line is not as good as they've been the last 2 years.
Yeah, losing Zinter definitely
That
hurts.
hurts. Zinter's so good.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that'll be
Um,
something. Hopefully, UW can take advantage
so
of.
I did end up, watching recaps and stuff. But you take us through the second half note tape. It's like
Yeah, so the second half, I mean,
here's where the Sugar Bowl really screwed up. They didn't play OT on the screens pregame.
really, that's a surprise to me because I mean, it's not like they ran into each other. Like it came close to running into each other, but they didn't run into each other.
I think there was some stuff. I forget exactly. I think there might have been stuff going on, pregame stuff, but I don't think so
Mm.
yet. I think there's still time. I think they when over like a little bit into overtime that stuff started. There was still some overtime. They didn't even have the fourth quarter on this on the jumbotron either.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I can't get behind that. I mean, it's the other game. It's the other game. Like you got to have it on TVs at least somewhere, somewhere.
They had it on some TVs at like the like concession areas.
Oh, yeah, like in the concourse, yeah.
Not not on my level, but like on the entry levels, the big bars. But I
Hmm.
had to go into my seat to watch pregame stuff.
Yeah, makes
And
sense.
how stadiums work, you just don't have reception.
Hmm. So I'll give the second half breakdown then. Michigan should have lost. They didn't. Credit where credit's due, but they should have lost this game. They got lucky because their special teams was horrible. Their special teams almost single-handedly lost them this game. Um, Missed field goal, missed extra point, or they didn't even have missed extra point. Botched snap on the extra point led to not getting any points there. Um, muffed punt, which you saw that was in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's one. Oh, there was the second. There was also a muff punt. So the last, Alabama's last possession, Michigan. I don't think it was a three and out, but it was like a basically one first down, automatic first down, and then a three and out essentially. So four and out, but not four and out. You know what I'm trying to say. Basically got off the field when they needed to, which was good. They were gonna be able to get the ball back with like 15 seconds left, and I believe a few timeouts. to like maybe actually like push the ball down the field, make something happen, maybe win in regulation. Guess what? Muff the punt, which ends up taking more time off the clock. And then also they recovered at the 1 yard line. If the
Oh,
punter
I
didn't
saw that.
jump
I
on
saw
it,
that.
yeah, it would have been bad. It would have been really bad. Um,
I do remember the botch snap. It's like botch snaps were all over in this game. For both sides. I was going to look at that botch snap
mhm.
PAT.
It was
The
horrible for Bama.
holder,
Oh, did you see the center for Alabama entered the portal today?
yeah, don't blame them.
Poor
I'd
guy.
get the hell out of there.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Rather enter the portal than have to go into Saban's office for the exit interview.
oh gosh. Um, what oh yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, the holder really screwed up in that he didn't dive on it right away because that could have been another two. Oh yeah, I see that
Mhm.
one percentage right there. Dang.
Yep, there you go.
Um,
There you go. This is where I mean where it's like, oh, Michigan got lucky in the
mhm.
fourth quarter.
Well, if you're the holder, if it's a low snap, you fall on it. You let it go by. That's what your knee is for. That's what your back knee is for. Is to stop it. Um, and then there was a lot of talk about the center and the botch snaps. But oh my God, that left guard was one of the biggest fishes I've ever seen on a Bama O line. They were
Hmm.
attacking him nonstop with all their pressures. He
Hmm.
was a fish. And Proctor wasn't good either. Because guess what? That's a true freshman left tackle. And guess what? These days, with the transfer portal, if, if if a 5 star doesn't start right away, he's going to transfer to somewhere where he can. It's the same thing with Josh Carnley. Neither should have played this year at all.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Well, Connerly's not a true freshman.
Oh shoot, you're right.
He's
And
class
he still
22.
wasn't good.
You see, yeah, it wasn't good, but let's see how that goes. That's crazy to think. Class 22 guys. They got one more year and they're draft eligible. They could be gone soon.
Dude, it's
It's weird
DeBoer's
to think
first
about.
class.
It's DeBoer's first class. Well,
Has anyone gotten playing time for that?
yeah, Ryan Ott was the big name, and he hasn't.
He's been hurt.
Yeah, it's tough.
I heard he
It's
might
tough.
medically retire.
A bummer. I liked Ryan
That
Ott.
was
He
your
was
that
a
was your
beast.
that was your
Ryan Ott was
super.
my guy. Ryan Ott was my
Well,
guy, man.
Kate always said that Ryan was going to be better. I hope he can
I
because
hope he
he'd be good
plays.
in this offense.
Yeah, it would be. Take over the Westover role.
Oh yeah,
But
the guy was sitting next to him in the Superdome was like, "Has Westover ever made an easy catch in his life?"
doesn't feel like it. It
Nope,
feels like every
nope.
single catch he makes is diving or backwards, falling backwards. Like,
At this point, I wonder how much of that is on him or on Penix because there has been some bad throws that he's hauled in, but at some point it's like someone has a flair for dramatic.
yeah, one of the diving throws he had, I think it was in the second quarter. Um, the commentators were literally saying it looked like Westover slowed down on the route, and the catch ended up being way harder than it looked like it needed to be. And I thought he did that on purpose.
You know what I'm bummed about is it, Westover was hardly in the game on the goal in the red zone. And I needed a Westy touchdown for $130. Those are the two I made the first two sports bets in my life.
Hmm.
I parlayed Husky Bama money line. I did Penix over 312 and a half yards plus
Hmm.
Westy touchdown.
I made the first sports bet of my. Actually, no, it's not true. I put some bets on the Super Bowl last year. I made the second sports. I made a parlay on the Super Bowl. Second sports bet of my life. Um, $25 on Washington to win it all right before the game started on Monday. So
Nice. What's your odds?
it, it was like I only had like plus 650, so it would only end up being like $190 or something. But hey man, turn 25
Hey,
bucks into
that's
190
that's
bucks.
something.
That's
Yeah.
that's that's three tanks of gas right there, man. I'll take that.
Oh yeah.
So,
This game, I don't think is the classic that people are trying to make it out to be. It was sloppy.
no, I think it was so sloppy it was a classic. I think that's what they're
Yeah.
trying to say. it was so bad. I wouldn't say it was so bad it was good in the way like Michigan or Missouri, Ohio State was, but
I don't like that for the Rose Bowl. That's unacceptable for playing the Rose Bowl. Saban got out coached
oh, he
with a
definitely did.
month to prepare. That is
Definitely did.
insane. He's got to fire Tommy Rees, man. He is
Yeah.
not good.
Alabama's offense was
You
inept in
see
this
that?
game. Mhm.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I didn't get into the part where I think Alabama was gonna win this game for a long portion. You can see pretty much the entire fourth quarter, the odds were in their favor. Um, Michigan just could not put together a drive. Like, period. They weren't really turning the football over, but they just could not put together a drive on Alabama's defense. And Bama, like they were walking up and down the field, really. I mean, it wasn't like passing. They couldn't pass to save their life, but they're able to it felt like they were able to just run whenever they wanted to, honestly. I know the yardage doesn't show it that way. But they were getting long chunk runs from McClellan. It's just like Michigan did lucked out in the sense that Bama fumbled in their own territory, but that turned into the Michigan missed field goal. Michigan lucked out in that McCarthy had a pretty mediocre throw actually get tipped at the line of scrimmage by a blitzing linebacker, and it wasn't like tipped up in the air. It like kind of just deflected the pass. It actually put the ball in a better spot for Roman Wilson to get a catch and run versus if
Mm,
it wasn't tipped at all. If it wasn't tipped at all, it might have been intercepted. But because it kind of like you said,
dang.
it gave it a little bit extra arc, it got right over the hands of Malachi Moore, popped it. Roman Wilson grabbed it, probably got 15 yards after the catch because Malachi Moore was like instinctively going for the pick. And yeah,
Hmm.
it was just one of those things where it's like it almost feels like luck is on your side there.
Oh yeah.
Which, a Michigan fan would say, okay, team of destiny then, but I don't know.
I think
I don't
there's a
know.
pretty freaking clear team of destiny at this point. Jeez.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
been
we'll
saying it
see.
for
It's
I've been
not the
saying it for
cheaters.
months. I've been saying it for months. Dogs of Destiny. It is not caught on at all, and it really should
That's
have.
that's that's not the name I'm going with. I'm going with the Heart Attack Huskies, but we'll talk about that in a
Oh, that's
second.
good too. That's good too.
It's the new
Um,
cardiac kids is the Heart Attack Huskies.
that's a good one. Um, oh yeah, here's what I was gonna say. Um, the who was it? The Chris Fowler blank in game day
Oh, the
naysayer
lake.
now. Dez's
Pat
reaction was pretty funny to
McAfee.
that.
Oh, dude, that was my favorite like segment ever. I was dying laughing when I saw the clip for that.
That was a good one.
There's no way it means naysayer, man. There's no way.
Oh no way.
There's no way. My fa my favorite part actually of that clip is the end where Pat's like, "Oh man, when you're starting to say it, I got a little tight in the throat."
Oh, that would have been good. Um, I bet Ryan Grubb still has Nick Saban's number. Uh, I bet Nick has some good insight for us. I bet
Mhm.
he's pissed he lost to
The Harbaugh.
Michigan.
Yeah, he's
And
probably pissed. He gave Michigan their first ever CFP semi win.
yeah.
Who would have thought? They
And
played
then did you see
TCU
that?
last year. They played Georgia the year before. It was really good. But they played TCU last year, but no, they beat Bama. That's their first
Hmm.
CFP win. There you go. When's
You
the
see
last
that
time
they
Bama lost actually in a semifinal? I know they lost to
oh
Ohio State the
shoot.
first semi,
Yeah, it
but
was
is that the
I think
first
that's the
semi
only time. I think
I think
that's
that's the
the
only
only time.
every other year they've been in. I think
Shoot.
they've won the first round.
Okay, let's see here. So 14, they lost.
14 was when they
15,
lost to Ohio State. The next year
15 they
they
won it all,
beat Michigan State. Next year they lost to Clemson in the
but they beat
championship.
UW. Yeah.
They beat UW, yeah. 17 they
At
beat
Oklahoma?
Clemson. They beat
No.
at Clemson. 18 was when they beat Oklahoma. 17 they beat Clemson. And they
And
then
then
they played
lost and then
Georgia in
beat
the national
Georgia.
and then
Yep.
beat Georgia
Yep.
in the national championship. 18 beat no. 18 is when they beat Oklahoma and then lost to Clemson national championship. 19 they
19
didn't make it because that was
Oklahoma
the
or
Joe
Notre.
Burrow year.
Oh yeah, 20 Notre Dame.
20
Yep,
was Notre Dame, yeah, because it was the Rose Bowl, but it was played at the
that was the
Cotton
Mac
Bowl.
Jones. That was the Mac
And Mac
Jones.
Jones, yep, won it all against Ohio State. 21 played Cincinnati, beat them,
Yep.
destroyed them, but lost to Georgia in the Natty.
Last year they won it. Yeah,
Yeah, 20,
first
last year
time
they
they
weren't
lost in
in.
the
Yep.
semis. First time they
So
lost in
only
the semis
other than Ohio State
other
one, yeah.
than Ohio State. Yeah,
Yeah. So there you go. There you go.
that's crazy. He's the goat.
Yeah, it's too wait, I just realized, yeah, Saban's only two losses in the semis were to Ohio State and Michigan. So that's something those fan
Wow,
bases can bond over.
is Midwestern's. That's a Spartan right there, losing to
I know,
Michigan,
I
Ohio
know, I
State.
know they'll be very buddy
Ooh,
buddy now that they realize they both beat Saban in the semis.
oh
They'll
yeah.
be best buds now. Um, yeah, here we go. So any more thoughts on this game before we get into the main event?
I think the more entertaining game, at least from my side, would be the one. I think for most people, maybe
I
I think
think this
UW was
game was
pretty
I no, I actually
firmly in.
disagree. This game was more back and forth.
That's fair. UW was
UW
in
didn't
control.
trail. UW never trailed in this game. It was a heart attack at the end. It gave me heart palpitations at the end. I may never recover. My heart rate may never recover, but they never trailed. They were leading or
Mm-mm.
tied the entire game, which
Look
when you
how
factor
broken.
that in, what's that?
Look how broken win percentages is. They start off not at
Hmm.
zero. That's how you know it's busted.
Hmm. Well, this is like FBI's projection and
I know, I
stuff,
know,
which
I know.
we
It's
know
it's
is.
stupid. FBI should have been their win percentage though. That's
Mhm.
um okay. Let's start from the beginning here, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. Actually, let's hear about Nola first. Let me hear
That's where I'm
about
starting.
the.
That's the
Oh,
beginning.
perfect,
That's the
perfect,
beginning.
perfect.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, right. No, it's Sunday, December 31st, 7 a.m. at SeaTac, and there's a whole lot of purple. My flight was probably 95% Husky fans. They played Bow Down to Washington at the gate. All the flight attendants were wearing Husky gear. The pilot called it the Sugar Bowl Express. That was fun. Uh, and We got free drinks. We got free alcoholic drinks on the flight. It was a great time. Got to New Orleans, and it's very flat. That was one thing that I realized. But might up with some folks. Great Bailey Ryder, Ethan Kilbreth, and spent New Year's Eve on Bourbon Street. It was probably about 80-20 Texas out there. But there was like both UW and Texas flags on all the buildings. I was pretty surprised they had that. And it was a great time. A lot of beads, a lot of purple and gold beads. I still have mine on. I checked my booty for them. Uh, it was awesome.
Yeah, and I think about it. How could anyone pick against? I know people are saying Texas would have the home field advantage, and I mean you'll speak on that, but come on, Mardi Gras colors are purple and gold. We should have
Purple, gold,
known.
and green. Yeah,
Perfect
we
gold and
should have
green.
known. Uh, it was a blast. Yeah, that night was awesome. Uh, Game day, I definitely slept in and then watched the girls play casino down in water. Very nice casino. Uh, I already talked about the casino, and then started the long trek to the Sugar Bowl, and then just found the crowd and just blended in. It was very orange, that crowd.
Hmm.
But the Texas fans, for like the most part, were super cool. They're very cool. Um, it was tough getting in the Sugar Bowl. Man, those gates are crowded. I think I picked the worst one, but that it's huge from the outside. It is gigantic. Very unique shape. Looks very nice. Um, and got through security. Took about 20 minutes. Took some time. Uh, you know, It's a very nice stadium. I have great things, no complaints. Well, one complaint, I'll get to that. But like,
Hmm.
the inside is it's a pretty old building, but it's well taken care of. It looks newer than you think on the inside. You can see some things that it's a little outdated, but no complaints about the concessions either. Concessions were great. There was so much staff, and they're all super cool, and they're pretty fairly priced. I was up on the 600 level. It took about like three super long escalators to get up there, but
Hmm.
it was so steep. It was really steep. Those were some of the biggest steps I'd ever seen. And biggest complaint though, no cup holders at the seats. That was weird. Got to be carrying about drinks. But I was in the UW section, and there's Texas fans in the section. But I'd say from 80-20 to 75-25, Texas UW. I think we had a pretty strong performance and pretty strong showing. Um, the first quarter, Texas fans were loud, but Husky fans were louder for the rest of the game after that.
Hmm.
Texas fans were not very loud. The pregame shows from both fans were really good. I saw Bevo, saw Dubs. Um, it was awesome. It's a really good stadium. I really liked it. You can it's big. It was high up. Uh, the pageantry was great. Yeah, it put on a great show. But Superdome was awesome. It was really good. So let's get to the game. I'll let you start us off though.
First series. Did we for I can't remember. We didn't. Did we have a three and out or did
We
we?
deferred.
No, yeah, I'm saying I know they started with it. Did they have a three and out or did they get like one first down and punt? Because I know they punted on their first series.
I think it might have been my first down punt.
Yeah. So um from the get-go, I was feeling pretty confident. And then I see Michael Penix just absolutely sling an absolute hill Jalen Polk between the two
That was
safeties.
crazy.
Or I guess it was the corner falling and the safety like coming over the top, but he wasn't like really over the top. He was actually trailing too. Um, just absolutely beautiful. Polk making both one guy miss, trying to outrun the other guy, not quite getting there. That's okay because we got the touchdown the very next play. At that point, I knew we were gonna win.
Hmm.
As
Yeah,
soon
that
as
was.
as soon as I saw, and not even as soon as the play happened, as soon as I saw the ball leave Penix's hand, I was thinking, oh, he's gonna have one of those games. He's gonna
Yeah,
have one of those games that we haven't fucking seen since early October.
Penix in a dome is insane.
Guess where the national championship's being played.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's
Um.
always played in a dome, to be fair. Actually, when's the last time? It was probably when it was in Santa Clara was the last time it wasn't played in a dome.
Oh, what a
Oh no,
place
no,
in
because they
Cincinnati.
played in Miami the year that Alabama played Ohio State. Never mind. That was 2021.
Um.
2020 season was Alabama.
They It wasn't a dome last year.
It was in a dome last year because it was SoFi
No, it
last
wasn't.
year.
No, it wasn't. It was not a dome. Uh,
Oh, it's a dome. Um, where was
I,
it?
I wanted to honestly, it didn't feel like a dome. I'll say it.
Actually, wait, okay, so what's the split? I know when Georgia and Alabama played the second time, the year Georgia won it, that was in Indy. I like how we're just doing national
One of
championship
them was in
history.
Atlanta.
One of them was like the first one was in Atlanta. Like, let's do national championship history. Hold on, I'm quizzing myself
Oh
on
gosh,
this.
here we go.
Very first one, 2014, was in Dallas, Ohio
Hmm.
State, Oregon. 2015 was in Phoenix or in Glendale. It was in Arizona. That was Bama Clemson. Bama Clemson Part 2 was in Tampa in 2016. 2017, yeah, 2017 was the Georgia Bama that was in Atlanta at the Falcons' new stadium. 2018 2018 was Bama Clemson Part 3. That was in Santa Clara. So let's do the split here. So Tampa, Santa Clara are so far. Those are the only two non-dome ones. I've had 10 years of college football playoff games. Um, Sorry, I got
I
sidetracked
hardly
there.
remember these.
LSU,
Well, it's okay.
LSU, Clemson was the next year. That was in New Orleans, so not a dome. Um, Alabama, Ohio State was the next one, not a dome because that was in Miami, so three. Um, then it was then it was Georgia, Bama again. This time in Indy Dome. Then last year TCU. Um, what did I forget? I think I'm forgetting year.
Georgia.
No,
No, you're not.
TCU. Yeah, no, and then TCU, Georgia was in SoFi. So
So fine.
fine, we'll
Yep.
say not a dome. Okay, so 10 years of national championships, four were in a dome, six were not in a dome.
Oh.
So they favor
Um,
domes, which makes sense. But
so you reverse that, but I get what you mean. Um, and like I said, Superdome was a fast field, and it was a fast field.
mhm.
Oh, one complaint I forgot about, and I was very disappointed by this. It was a very first world problem. My flight didn't have Wi-Fi, so I couldn't check the scores of the Sunday window games.
Mm, mm. There wasn't much in the Sunday early window. I wasn't even really watching it that closely because I was still down in Tucson. But
I know, but
um,
being able to follow football on a plane is pretty fun.
true,
Makes it go
true.
quick.
No, this isn't me plugging because I don't have a sponsorship yet. But I know you can watch live TV on Southwest. So
Oh, that's awesome. I watched the first week. I watched week one, 2021 on my flight back from the big house on Southwest.
there you go. There you
Chiefs
go.
Brown. I had a fun one.
Oh, Chiefs Browns was a fun one. I remember that. That was the year that was Bengals Vikings. That was the Chase breakout game when I was like, well, that was his
Mhm.
first game of his career, but it was like the preseason. Everyone said he was gonna suck and he couldn't catch, and then all of a sudden he had like five catches for 120 yards and a
That was
touchdown his
such a
first
wild
game.
narrative. That was such a wild narrative, and it was like
It
because the
never made
ball doesn't
sense.
have stripes.
It
It's a
never
funny one.
made sense.
That was a
Yeah.
funny time.
Yeah. But
All right.
anyways, here, yeah, getting back
Yeah.
to the
No.
game though.
I'll give some fun context. I don't know if that's the right word. Perspective. Yeah. Whatever. Some fun detail of So I was 600 level. I had a great. I had all 22 view. As soon as and I completely agree. As soon as I saw the ball come out of his hands, like, oh, he's got this. That I saw this space too. He wasn't wide open, but like I knew the window. It's like, but the biggest thing about that play was pass pro because I was a long developer and pass pro was amazing all game.
Yeah.
It was so good, so good. Shout out to the whole line. They proved their worth in Joe Moore right there. Pass pro is excellent. Penix had he had a part in that. He was great in the pocket, but he always has been. You forget that. Part of what makes Mike so good is he has that pocket feel, that elite pocket presence.
Hmm.
Um, there was some absolutely infuriating play calling. Uh, so like that fourth and down, the third and one and fourth and one, uh, in the red zone, calling two running plays. It's like putting Mike's hand. Come on.
Hmm.
And then when we got cute in the fourth quarter, two drives in a row when we should have ran it, and they weren't even having a final drive.
Hmm.
Like that double, on that like throwback reverse though, Mike was gone in that one, and that PI on Rome,
Hmm.
he couldn't throw it. It was so he was like
No,
10
it
yards
was it was
faster.
like 60 yards in the air. Like you're not getting it much further,
No,
honestly.
you. I don't blame him because that's a hard throw from hash to hash. That's a really tough throw. I'm not mad about that. But I was just saying how open Rome was, how badly Rome burned this guy. It was like 10 yards. It was bad.
Hmm. Mhm.
That's why I was getting annoyed when people were like, the backside on the backside, he was wide open. It's like, yeah, because he can't make no one can make that throw. Um, Offense played great. Mike was playing his best game as a Husky, in my opinion. Either this one or his first Oregon game in 22 were his best games as Huskies. He just couldn't miss.
I think, yeah, I think I agree. I think given the context, like the fact this was
Mm-hmm.
a CFP game, yeah, yeah. When you factor, because he put up numbers against like Michigan State this year. Okay, fun, great, awesome, great job, everyone did. Um, this was different because this was the biggest
The
game of
biggest
his life.
stage.
This was the biggest
Mm-hmm.
game of his life at this point, and he
And he
played
was cool as a
phenomenally.
cucumber, just like
Yep.
he always is. And so was Kalen DeBoer, and he wasn't Sark.
Yeah.
You see the pregame
Well,
stuff, he looked nervous.
yeah. Well, Kalen DeBoer was
Okay.
again. I know we'll talk about it. The clock management stuff at the end
I
was
was
pretty
saying like I
bad.
was like Jimmy Lake like run the damn ball. Um you can't control PJ going down there. That's just
No, you can't.
awful
And
luck.
that's a stupid. And I got to rant about this. The
I do too.
fact that that rule punishes a player, and I know why they have it, it's to prevent a fake injury. But in that context, why would we be faking an injury? All it does is hurt the team that is already being hurt by having an injured player. You are
Mm-hmm.
punishing, and you're punishing DJ. You are punishing DJ, and if they lose, imagine that. Imagine saying to him, "Oh," and obviously a player on Washington would never say this, but there are drunk fans in those stands. Imagine he's coming off the field and a UW fan like yells down, "We lost because you got hurt." Or on the other side, a Texas fan is laughing at him saying, "Ha, you guys lost because you got hurt." It's bullshit. I'm sorry. We
Oh
need to
yeah.
change that rule. It's
I
horrible.
I
It's
was like I was
horrible.
like I was like we an old lineman needs to pick him up.
Hmm.
It was like a receiver needs to sub out and take and hold hands with them. You know,
Hmm.
it's a horrible game because we just punt with 15 seconds left
If we punt with
and it's
15
over.
seconds left, like 5 seconds come off the clock on the punt alone. Hopefully, Jaden Green doesn't touch him to give him an extra 15 yards.
Jane Green might be my now most disliked player on the punt team because past two games, um, McAllister's actually had good punts.
Yeah, McAllister did his job on that punt. He got it. It was originally going to be at the 15 before the penalty. Yeah,
What the
yeah.
hell are you doing?
Hmm.
That was, and then I was actually pretty happy with how the defense played. Other than the last two drives of both halves, I think the defense played very well. I think on the touchdown after the Jeremy fumble, there's not much you can do there.
Yeah, they were put in an impossible situation there. So,
I think forcing those third and longs consistently all game is really impressive.
hmm. Hmm.
Braylon Trice had his best game of his career too.
Oh, he was fantastic. He was phenomenal. And that's against a guy, Christian Jones, who's gonna again be in the Senior Bowl. Like a good
Mm-hmm.
tackle.
And he had a rough game. He's
Oh,
had a rough one.
he did. He had a false start in there too. He had a holding. It was bad. Yeah, we were giving
The
him
amount of
fits.
false starts that Texas had was pretty crazy. Proud was
Mhm.
bringing it.
Yeah, especially considering they had for all intents and purposes, a home field advantage.
It was hey, we were loud. We were loud.
Mhm. So, well, no, but
Um,
even then, it was like you said, Texas was loud to start. Their first snap was a false start.
yeah, it was. You know, everyone brought it. Everyone brought it, and that
Hmm.
down to the fans. It was,
Hmm.
it was one of those games that Mike just couldn't miss. It was a thing of beauty to watch. I can't believe I got to see it in person. It was just crazy to see.
Hmm.
He was just flinging it. Like it might have made him a first round pick.
Mhm. And then final closing thought here. The Heisman Trophy. If you are going to wait until after conference championship weekend to give out awards and factor that in, which by the way, they do because Michael Penix finished ahead of Bo Nix because of what happened in the Pac-12 championship. You should
Bo
also wait
Nix
until
lost
after
the
the
Heisman
Bulls.
because of that.
Exactly. Exactly. If Bo Nix wins that, or I should say, if Oregon wins that, Bo Nix probably gets the Heisman Trophy over Jaden
Mm-hmm.
Daniels. Instead,
He
Jaden
does,
Daniels gets
absolutely.
it. But you cannot tell me after that performance we saw on Monday, and if he does it again right before the or in the national championship and they win, you cannot tell me Mike Penix was not the most outstanding player in college football. And don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, I was on this very podcast throughout late October and November saying Michael Penix has lost the Heisman. I know, I'm a hypocrite. I will admit that right now. Michael Penix deserved the Heisman Trophy because of that
Mm-hmm.
performance and the fact that they did the voting 3 weeks before the most important games. I think you just got put. I think now is the time, and it's the same thing with like Christian McCaffrey having the game of his life in
Mm-hmm.
the Rose Bowl 2 weeks after the Heisman voting. You 100%. I am now 100% in favor. Do the awards after the bowl games and after the national championship. And you want to know what else? That might convince some of these guys to not opt out. If Marvin
Mm-hmm.
Harrison, may think about that. Maybe Marvin Harrison doesn't opt out of the Cotton Bowl if he thinks he might not win the Blitnikoff. So
Absolutely. And Rome should have won the cup when we saw it.
agreed,
With how
agreed.
well he played.
Hmm. So
I have a closing shout out as well. Shout out Elijah Jackson, playing
yeah,
that
another
played
guy that's
very
gotten a
well
lot of hate on this program.
against a very good red zone. Probably the second best or top five red zone receiver in college football, especially in the college football class. 80 missions lethal in the red zone. That
Mhm.
was an awesome play.
He was fantastic. He was fantastic there. And don't get me wrong, I was on his ass when he gave up the touchdown right before that. I was going, oh, Elijah Jackson sucks.
I
He
think
made the
corners
play
had
when
a
it
great
mattered
game.
most. He made the play when it mattered most. Yeah, no,
I think the
honestly. I mean,
corners
Texas did what I predicted they'd do. When they wanted to run the ball, they could run the ball. Um,
their passing
but
game.
the passing game, what I know it says 318 yards for Ewers, which, fair, but also only completed like half of his attempts.
I think that was very much inflated with them being down so much and having to throw
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
because they were going hurry up 10 minutes left in the fourth.
right. Right. Well, any more thoughts on this one before we take a look at the
The emotions, the vibe after that last play was just amazing. And the people I were with, a bunch of guys were crying, just we were all hugging each other. I'll definitely never forget that. I stayed in the Superdome until they kicked me out, taking it
there you
all in.
go. There you go. That's awesome.
I was one of the
That's
last
awesome.
people to. I was one of the last fans to leave.
That's awesome. I know you FaceTime me after. I saw little snippets, but the connection wasn't great.
I wanted to try. I tried to give you a little taste of it.
It was awesome. I could hear everything, but it was like the video was like super
Mm-hmm.
herky jerky, but I could kind of get the vibes. The vibes looked immaculate. I wish I was there. I wish I was there. But
And then Bourbon Street after that. I was up there until 3 a.m. Football players were at some of the bars after too. It was awesome.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we got one
And
more
then
college
like
football
like
game to
some
talk about.
some Texas fan was like, you guys live in Seattle. It's like, that's not even like one. That's all you got. But two, it's like, yeah,
I
it's
mean,
awesome
that's
over
just a
there.
that's just a factual statement. The weather sucks for most of the year, including this time of year. But it
That's
is
pretty
just
dang good up there.
Also, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I was looking this up out of curiosity, because it was cold. It was cold in Tucson on New Year's Eve. I was like, you know what? It was like 42 degrees. I was like, you know what? This may suck, but at least I'm not in Seattle. And I checked my phone.
It was
It was
warmer.
42. No, it was 42 degrees and overcast, but it was also 42 degrees and overcast in Tucson. So it's like, okay, it's basically the same. Never mind. Um,
It's been the weather's been great down here. It's funny. Local people kind of have cold. It's like it's like 55 and clear. It's awesome.
mhm, mhm.
Today I did a lot of the food stuff that I had been made this morning at the famous place after Juman. And I had a, for dinner I got like a sampler. So I got jambalaya, gumbo, red beans, and rice, and I think that they were all very good.
There you go. There you go, man. Well, we got one more game to talk about, and you'll be at this one too. That's the
I will.
national championship between the Michigan Wolverines and the Washington Huskies. M versus W, Mini versus Wumbo.
Oh, I saw that one. That's a good one. Just 2 years ago, did we ever see ourselves in this situation?
Yeah. Who would have thought? Who would have
Never.
thought, man? And funny thing is too, when you were leaving Ann Arbor, imagine someone telling you, "Oh, don't worry, you guys will have a shot at them in the national championship in 2 years." What would you have
There's
thought if
some
someone told you that?
you're I want what you're on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and we'll also
Um,
have another shot at them in October too, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Flip it over. I was texting you the other day. Flip it over, brother. And flip the card. Let me know it's on the wrong side of the sun red. Flip it.
Um,
One side green, one side green.
this is hostile life right here. This is lost to life right here for the viewers.
Okay. So shoot, what was it? What were we oh yeah. I was texting you. There's a lot of players on this team who were up in Ann Arbor in 21. I think there's a lot of players who want some revenge.
Yeah, and that's a very different Michigan team than the one we lost to too. That team had like Aiden Hutchinson still, to Dax Hill, DJ Turner.
That was a
Um,
much better Michigan team, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah, at least from a talent overall talent perspective. Their quarterback situation wasn't as good because that was still Cade McNamara. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, I think overall talent, that was a better team. And O line too. And you had Donovan Edwards as well.
yeah. Well, they still have Donovan Edwards.
Oh shoot, that's right. Who's the one I'm forgetting that left that year?
Oh, Hassan Haskins.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
Mhm. Yeah.
about. I think it's definitely fresh in their minds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's things. I mean, honestly, I mean, the only major contributors to this year's team that weren't on that team are really Penix, DJ, and Muhammad
Jabbar. Yeah.
Jabbar. Yeah, for the most part, it's the same dudes.
Oh yeah. And man, I did not like how uh much shit those Michigan players were talking. It was after every play.
Hmm. Well, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. Um, that's so crazy though. I mean, other than like the obviously like the SEC versus SEC national championships, like I think this is the first time in the CFP era where the national championship has a rematch scheduled for next year. Don't you love conference realignment?
NFL light.
NFL light, that's right. That's right. Change the schedule. Make this the opener like the NFL does.
Gosh, if
Um,
I had a oh man, If I had to play them back to back, I would lose my mind.
Hmm. Yeah. So, but getting into this game, do a little bit of a preview here. Obviously, FPI, who has been down on Washington all year, I'm not even going to talk about it. Obviously, thinks Michigan's going to win. Michigan's
Yeah,
four and
they
a
keep
half
doing
point,
this.
yeah, Michigan 4.5 point favorites. Neither team has lost yet this year. They're the only two undefeated teams in the country.
Mm-mm. Never mind. I'm not sure if South Dakota State's undefeated or not.
Okay, sorry, the only undefeated FBS teams in the country. Um,
That's right, because Liberty and FSU lost.
yep, yep. Um, it's gonna be a battle. I don't think this. I mean, I don't think if either team thinks this is gonna be easy, it's not.
It won't be. It's definitely strength against strength.
And I'll speak for this. To Michigan's credit, Washington has not played a defense as good as Michigan's all year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's not even close. It's frankly not close. Maybe Oregon State a little bit, maybe shades of Texas, but their secondary is so weak. I don't think you could say that. I think Oregon's the best defense they played all year.
I think you're right about that.
And I think Michigan's a lot better than Oregon. So that will be
I
interesting.
totally agree. Um, However, counterpoint and kind of reverse counterpoint. Um, this is by far the best offense Michigan's playing, and it's not even close.
Exactly. Yeah, it's probably the best offense they've played in a couple of years. It's better than last year's TCU.
Hey, if you're saying anything, I might be breaking up here.
Oh, I was just saying I think it's the best offense Michigan has had to play in a few years. Like it's better than last year's TCU. Um, eh, I guess they had to play the CJ Stroud Ohio State teams, but like even those were kind of like spotty and inconsistent. It's going to be a battle for both these. Like you said, strength versus ultimate strength versus strength. When it's Michigan's offense on the field versus UW's defense, that's a lot less strength versus strength. I will say, and it's a very similar concern to what I had for the for Texas here. UW's run defense. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Nola Rob had to pop out. He's got joined back in. Um, I'll wait for him to join back in here and connect to audio. There we go. We
Looks like
back.
Wi-Fi. Looks like Wi-Fi struggling,
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll try to
so I
make
just
this
switched
fast.
off.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
no, no,
you're
I just
good.
switched off.
Okay. Cool. So what I was saying, the thing that scares me when Michigan's offense is on the field versus UW's defense is exactly what I thought would be the problem with Texas was the problem. UW is still very weak against the run, and they're going up
Mm-hmm.
against Blake Corum now. He's a dude. He's a man. He's a monster. That worries me. That scares me. Is that me saying that I think that it's guaranteed Michigan? Of course not. I'll get to my prediction later. We'll get to
It's
that.
that is incredibly fair.
But I am scared as hell that Blake
Here's
Corum's
a
gonna have
here's
like
a counterpoint.
150 yards.
I think you will. Here's my counterpoint. Um, I think linebackers had to play incredibly soft to become the RPO game
Hmm.
against against Texas.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think you're right. And I also think too, they've had to play USC. They've had to play Oregon twice. They just had to play Texas. If we're talking pass offenses, all three of those teams are leaps and bounds ahead of Michigan. And not to say they like shut any of those teams down per se, but I mean, it wasn't like they got absolute, with the exception, USC kind of torched them, but Oregon, they held them in check for large parts of that game. Texas, they held them in check for large parts of that game. And again, in the passing
USC
game.
played their best game against us because they knew if they lost against us, it was over. I
Hmm.
firmly believe that, and then nailed it in
Hmm.
the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. But granted, I mean, Michigan is going to be thinking the same thing. They need to play their best game against us. And
We've gotten
Oregon thought the same
everybody's
thing.
best though.
Said the same thing. So,
Everybody has thought that.
mhm. So,
Um,
point being,
I think you absolutely try and make it like force McCarthy to beat you.
mhm, mhm, agreed, agreed. You need to, and you need to find a way to play with the lead. You need to get the lead early, play
Mm-hmm,
with that, take
mm-hmm.
Corum. You're never going to take Corum completely out of the game because even if UW was up 10, Michigan's best chance to come back and win is would probably still be sticking with Blake Corum. But you got to at least make him think about it. You got to at least make him say like, "Hey, this is a situation where we need to pass." They need to get a lead. They need if they win the opening kick, they can't defer. They need to receive and they need to get the lead.
I was about to say that. I completely agree. I think this is one where I think I'm usually team always defer,
Hmm.
but this is one that you got to think about receiving.
Hmm.
Um, you know, we can with those first 15 with the rest as good as the best of them. Um, make them chase you, make them feel the pressure. Make you got to score with us. If you play sloppy like you did against Bama, I think you're gonna have a rough one.
Hmm. Agreed. Agreed. Especially, yeah, if McCarthy plays the way he did against Bama, UW's going to win this game.
Now with the
Um,
month of prepare, now he's only got a week.
yep. Yep, 100%. And now, granted, Bama's defense is much better than UW's.
Mm-hmm,
No
mm-hmm.
way around that. But I don't know. Like, of the four quarterbacks, and this sounds crazy because Jalen Milroe can't do much with his arm, to be quite frank. Of the four quarterbacks, McCarthy scares me the least by a pretty
That's a
wide
good point.
margin.
That's a good point. I think he's a better quarterback than better
He's a better passer
quarterback.
than McCarthy, or than Milroe, I
He's
mean, but
the
Milroe
actual
was just a
position.
better.
Yeah,
Mhm,
the actual quarterback position. However, it comes to fear, it was probably he was Milrow McCarthy. I agree with what you're saying.
mhm. So I think
You definitely still out to stop the run here.
you have to find a way to stop the run. But the thing is, I mean, there was the same thing with Texas, and they got a lead. They played with that lead. And from there, they were forcing the ball into Ewer's hands. He ended up passing 43 times, completing like half of them, and you win the game. You win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they can do that again. And they can do that again. And nice thing
Braylon's
too
got to
is
have
they won't
another
have,
big game.
shoot, it's a nice thing too. So they went to Houston, Texas, or they went to New Orleans. They went to Texas. They went to it's LSU country, yes, but Texas had the advantage there.
They absolutely did. They absolutely did.
You're going
This
to
is probably good.
Houston
I'm going to
now.
say
This is
60-40.
gonna be this is gonna be more Michigan fans, but it's gonna be closer. I think, yeah, 60-40 is probably a good split.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good.
Hmm.
Yeah, we got screwed pretty bad with our draw
Hmm.
location, but not with their draw opponent.
Hmm. So it'll be
I
interesting.
I, I think I feel just as I was nervous as hell before the Pac-12 title game.
Hmm.
The entire month of December, I felt totally confident about how we were going to play Texas. The same confidence in uh, in beating Michigan. Harbaugh's never
Hmm.
won the big one. Never in his career. Kalen's done it 3 times.
There you go. And you know what? There's a saying, winners win. They're saying this on the in the lead up to the game, you know.
It's something that they say though.
There is something to be said for the fact, yeah, UW wasn't blown out Arizona State. They weren't blown out Stanford when maybe they should have, but they still won. They didn't play their B game or they played their F game against Arizona State. They still won. They still won. Winners find a way. And like he said, Kalen DeBoer's played in championships and he's won those. Harbaugh's played in a championship in the NFL and he lost. He's played in multiple NFC championships. He lost those. He's played in CFP finals until recently, as in 2 days ago. He lost those. He's won Big Ten championships. Yeah, I'll give him. I'll give him credit for
against
that.
Iowa
Against
and
Iowa, pretty much only
it
against
was
Iowa. I think
last
all three
year.
of them were against Iowa.
Last year's Purdue.
Oh, that's right. Last year was Purdue. You're right. You're right. Still, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um, I will say this: Minter is a very good coordinator, and so is Moore. They have fantastic assistants,
mhm.
and
Mhm.
they're at the cutting edge of defense right now, really attacking pressure as well.
Where Mike
So, and
McDaniel
they
came
got they
from.
got good, they got good. They have good DBs too. They have a good corner run.
Hmm.
But I don't care. I don't care what scheme you run. You can't stop three NFL receivers. No one can. It's just not possible. And we've seen that. Saw that with 2019 LSU. We're seeing that with us. It's just impossible to get three pro receivers. It's near impossible to get three pro receivers on your team.
All right, Mr. Jokinen.
Um,
Time is here.
all right, here we go. The
What is
football
your
gods.
prediction for the
The
national
football
championship?
gods are very fickle. Like, yeah, they're trickster gods. You ever hear of those? What would
They're
a trickster
Loki.
god do to
Loki's a football god.
what would that kind of god do to something that slighted them? They would give them the
They
worst
would seek
possible
retribution.
downcome. They give them the most harsh possible um, way for fate to decide it. You know what that is? That's going to the national championship and losing. Dog complete the season of destiny. The dog, the destiny season. Get it done. Let's say by three, because that's just how it happens. Dogs win.
I like that. I like that. Final score. So what's the score? What's the score?
Oh, that's a good one.
No dogs by three, but how many points they get?
It's a good one. Okay. 34-31.
34, 31. I like that. I like that. Okay. So here we go. Here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be the fourth quarter. The Huskies will be up 30. Actually, no, it's it. They'll be up 30. Wait, one. Yeah, here we go. They're gonna be up 31-27 with 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's gonna be third down. Huskies football. Third down and 9. Michigan gets a sack. They bring Penix down. Michigan calls timeout. They have 2.5 minutes to operate with. Biggest moment of JJ McCarthy's life. Jack McAllister gets spun off. Michigan gets the ball at their own 23-yard line. Jane Green does not touch the kick returner.
Good, good.
After the punt, we're talking 225, 224 left on the clock. Start with a hand. It's 4-point games. Michigan needs a touchdown. They only have one timeout left at this stage, by the way. Hands the ball off to Blake Corum, gets 6 yards on first down. Huskies fans, they're not even rushing to the line. They're not in a hurry. They got 224 left. They're chilling. Huskies fans are thinking, oh, 6 yard run. It's not a big deal. Next play, they call a screen, gets 24 yards. All of a sudden, they're in Huskies territory, like just out of the blue, just like that. They're right around midfield. We're talking like a minute 55 left, and they've gotten 30 yards already. McCarthy finds Colston Loveland down the seam. Cam Fab's late to trigger, gets another 13. They got the ball at the UW 32. It's like a minute 40 now. Harbaugh's not even thinking about that timeout. They can hand the ball off to Corum for all they care. And that's what they do in the next play. They run it for 3 yards, 2nd and 7, right at the UW 30 at this point. Quick slant to Cornelius Johnson. Only gets 6. 3rd and 1. Okay. Clock's ticking now. Harbaugh's sweating a little bit. It's 3rd and 1. Um, they attempt a quick run. Blake Corum. Tuigasanoa blows it up in the backfield. Loss of 2. It's 4th and 3. Minute 10 now. Harbaugh does call a timeout at this point. He calls his last timeout here because he wants to settle his team down. He's like, okay, screwed up those 3 play calls. That's on me. Well, Harbaugh didn't call the plays. You know what I mean. They need to settle the team down. They need to regroup. They need to have a good 4th down play call here. And again, there's a minute 10 left. Like they're not like in a hurry to get moving. So they get the play off. Chuck Morrell calls his defensive play. It's probably something shitty. Um uh they line up in they line up a single back. 21 personnel. They got 2 tight ends. They know it's gonna be a run. UW thinks it's gonna be a run. McCarthy takes a snap. He's under center, by the way. Takes a snap, goes handoff to Corum. He fakes it, pulls it. It's a QB boot. No one on the UW defense reacts to it, except for a senior linebacker named Eddie Ulofoshio. He sees it coming the whole way. He comes screaming down the field. Tackle for a loss of 1. Washington wins national championship 31-27. And guess what? The man who came back from so many injuries and has been a leader on this team is the one who brings home the chip for Washington. That's how the game ends. Well, actually, that's not how the game ends because Penix takes 2 knees, and that's how the game ends.
I love it.
There
You
you
can
go.
surely spin a yarn. I was visualizing it the whole time. I loved it. Won't have it any other way. That's why I was saying it at the end of the Sugar Bowl. I was like, won't have it any other way. Couldn't have it any other way. These heart attack Huskies.
Heart attack Huskies. But actually, Heart Attack Huskies would have done it with like that exact scenario, but instead of being on the 30, it
The
would be
goal line.
on like the 5 or on the goal line, yeah. And there would be 5 seconds left, not a minute 10. So if anything, I gave y'all an easy, nice, easy ending for you.
Get to let Mike snap the ball at the end.
Yeah, let
Yeah,
Mike
it's
actually
not.
take a knee. He
That's
hasn't
gonna be
been
your
able to.
last. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess he did take a knee to end the Pac-12 championship. I was going to say that he hasn't been able to do that in a
Yeah,
while, but I
that's
guess he
true.
did. He did yet take a knee to end the Pac-12 championship.
It would be. It's so sad that we want to get to see Mike Azowski one more game.
That's it. Well, I
Is
mean,
he the greatest of all time if he wins it, or is he already there?
yes. If he wins it, he's there. It's him. It's hard to argue against guys like Warren Moon,
Entman,
Mark Edmond, Mark Brunell.
I think if we win it this year, I think both Penix and Rome are on the Rushmore.
Mm-hmm. And guess who? Guess which coach recruited Roman Dunze?
You've really been on that. Of course he did. He was there. You can't control that. Hey,
Jimmy, you're getting a ring
no,
mailed to
no,
you,
no,
my
no, no,
friend.
no, 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 no. Oh shoot!
Well, Chris Peterson, yes, but Jimmy Lake was the 2020 coach, and he was part of the 2020 recruiting class.
I thought Rome was in 2019.
No, he's 2020.
Hear about that?
I was in the staff, yes.
I know, I know. I thought it was 2020
That's 2020.
or 2019.
Because he was the same class as McMillan. J Mac and him were both 2020.
I thought JMac was 19 as well.
Mm. I think they both committed in the calendar year 2019, but they were part of the class of 2020.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're
Mhm.
saying.
Yeah. So, yes, when they committed, Chris Peterson was still the coach.
That throw, that touchdown to J Mac.
Oh, dude, that was a
That was
late.
a laser.
That was a Aroldis Chapman 105 miles per hour. Like that was absolutely
It was
insane.
late on that too.
Yeah. But I got so much velocity on it, it didn't matter. There's no way that Texas DB was going to be able to react in time.
He didn't even touch it. That's like
Didn't come
that's
close to
like
touching it. He didn't even turn his head.
most quarterbacks. That's a pick.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane, man. It's insane. So
Just enjoy it. You know,
this is the last time we will ever see Michael Penix. Probably Roma Dunze. He hasn't declared yet, but
Rome's gone.
um
Rome's gone.
Rome's gone.
J Mac and Cole question
J-Mac and
marks
Paul
there.
question marks there. They're probably both gone, but
If we win it, I think they're gone.
yeah. Jack Westover and Devin Culp. Sayonara. Troy Fatanu.
Troy, I think Roger will come back. I think he should.
Braylon Trice.
He's
ZTF.
gone.
Eddie
ZTF.
Olafosio.
Dooley, MJ,
William, yeah. A lot of guys. We're missing. We're
Asa.
losing. Asa, yeah. We're losing a lot of guys, unfortunately. Dylan Johnson's
Yep.
eligible, but he's
I don't
probably
know if
coming
he'll do it
back.
or not. Yeah. He's a
If they
question mark.
win,
Jabbar is a
shoot, he
question
might.
mark.
If we win, it might like you know what, you might as well. Because his stock's probably decently high. They just won a national championship after all. If they don't win, I mean, even if they
It's
don't win,
hard
I
to
don't think
win.
they're.
It's hard to get drafted as a running back.
Yeah, but it's even harder when you're 1 year older and
I know.
Dylan
I know. That's
DJ's
why I
good.
should. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you should go to Rice
Um,
Stocks.
go so you can get your NFL pension a year earlier. That's why.
Oh, Jabbar, I think could shit. Jabbar should stay.
I
Jabbar
think
should stay.
Jabbar. I, yeah, I think he should stay. Um, but he's been really good down the stretch.
Hmm.
I could see it go both ways for him. I think NIL will persuade Roger and Jabbar to stay.
Hmm. Although on the consensus board that I like to use, Rogers up to 187 overall.
He can get higher than that.
You could, you could, but you know, something to look at. Something to look
I
at.
think he's
So,
I think he's leaving money on the table if he plays this year.
well,
I think he could.
he was also part of the class of 2020. What if he's eligible for the Senior Bowl? They haven't
Mm,
said anything about him yet, but he's eligible.
I think he's going to get. I think like what's been talked about, like how much NIL money got a lot of these dudes to stay another year. I think Roger's going to get a lot of it,
Hmm. Yeah,
and he
we'll
can play
see.
some left tackle too.
That is true. That is definitely true. That's definitely true.
But like he was already a blindside protector.
Right, right. Gosh, man, I really hope they win on Monday because it's not going to be the same next year. It's just not.
Nope, nope.
Honestly, and I hate to be that guy, but looking ahead to when Michigan and Washington play again in October, Michigan probably wins by 2 touchdowns.
We'll have to see how well Roger looks. I can't. I won't say anything yet. But yeah, they're, it's covered's gonna be a little bigger next year.
Yeah. So let's win it. Let's
I
win it
think
all
there
on
was
Monday.
always going to be. I think there was always going to be. A year. I think mid-year last year. I think a lot of us thought this year was going to be rough, but everyone came back. I
Hmm.
think there was always a year that you got to make your payments a bit. Pay for some down years, recruiting Jimmy Lake years, and covering from that. I'm recruiting has gotten better. It's not there yet. Um, it's never, we got to be a little realistic of what our ceiling is, just, money and all that stuff. But it does need to be better.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you win a national championship. That helps. That definitely helps.
I mean, we're in
Um,
it. I think that helps too.
oh well, it's definitely in it. It's gonna get eyes on the program one way or the other, but you win it. That's immortality right there. That can carry 10 years of recruiting if you win a national championship. Maybe not 10, 5. It can carry 5 years of recruiting.
Yeah, that's about how long it's carried Dabo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Although, yeah,
So, well, there we go. There we go. Next time we speak, Actually, no, we got an NFL
I,
episode coming out later this week.
I'm
Next
probably
time,
not going to be able to do the NFL episode, but did you got to post my score predictions for the game before um the night before on Bourbon Street as like a short.
I don't know if I saw that. Hold on.
I texted it to you.
Yeah, I know you texted it to me, but I was in Tucson, so I think I just like wasn't. Hold on. I know
It
you
was
texted. I saw the video, but I don't know if I had a chance to like really watch it.
it was pretty funny. But I'll do another one of those in Houston.
Perfect. Perfect. Sounds good. Sounds good. Um, I'll be looking forward to seeing that. You already know my score prediction, so
Oh shoot, you know
official.
mine already. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
26,
do a
23.
little man on the
Better
street
stick
video
to
then.
it. Better stick to it. All
But
right, my friend. Any
you
closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts?
enjoy it. And
Enjoy it.
one of us is about to win the national championship. All of us about to win the national championship.
Except for
One
Michigan
of us
fans.
cook like. All of us cook like. One of us cooks a trap. All of us cooks a trap. And Huskies are America's team right now. Everyone wants them to win.
Yeah. Except everyone outside of Oregon and Michigan wants us to win.
Yeah,
We
after
got a
Michigan.
big we got a big fan base in Columbus, Ohio right now. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
All
All
right.
right, man.
Actually, you know what? Actually, wait. One closing thought. It is kind of funny that the first ever CFP championship was Oregon, Ohio State, and the last ever in the 14 format, the last ever is Washington, Michigan. We've come full
Oh yeah.
circle in a way. So
We
that's kind
really
of fun.
have.
So, all right, my friend. Well, appreciate you joining us tonight. And like he said, like the man said, one of us win a national championship. Other than Michigan fans, all of us do. And Ducks fans. They'll never win one. It's in their logo. Thanks for watching.